Hello guys and welcome to all those training to become Super Saiyans. This is Revolution. So what I'm going to discuss on today's video is something that I keep noticing pop up in verse battles, and that is the implication that Vegito Blue is just a 400 times multiplier over Goku Blue. Well, I'm going to debunk that because that is basically absolute nonsense. Now, just before I begin this, what has sparked me making this video is simply because everybody is comparing the likes of Jiren and Goku Ultra Instinct with the previously most powerful characters, obviously excluding the likes of the Daizenshuu and Zeno, etc., the Angels, and possibly even some of the Hakaishin. Vegito and Zamasu were the previous most powerful characters that we knew about because of the Potara fusion. Now guys, just because I'm debunking a low ball for Vegito doesn't mean I think Vegito will win. If you want to know my opinion on this, I am simply on the fence at the moment. This video's main purpose isn't supposed to be a verse battle, but after I've gone through all the information, I'll tell you why I'm still on the fence. So I know where this whole thing comes from. Basically, in the Daizenshuu, how it explains the Vegito fusion is greater than Super Saiyan 3. Now, obviously, Vegito is the result of Potara fusion. If you don't know by now, which if you're a Dragon Ball fan you should, there are two forms of fusion, Potara and Metamoran. But Potara fusion is basically the fusion of the gods. If you're still not aware which fusion is more powerful, I did make a video about 3 or 4 months ago. I'll link it at the end of this video so you can check it out. It's called Vegito vs Gogeta, Strongest Fusion Answered. But in terms of the Potara fusion, there are two main guidebooks that give you a bit of information about it. Now, I'm not going to lie, the information isn't that in depth and is often considered vague in some circumstances, but I'll go through them anyway. Now, the main two sources are the Daizenshuu, which is where I think most people get this 400 times multiplier from, and then there's the super exciting guides, which states something else entirely. Now, I'll get into the super exciting guides later because it isn't really that relevant to this 400 times, but I'll give you my take on it. The super exciting guides, if you haven't heard of it, is pretty much an extension to the Daizenshuu. But first, let's start with the Daizenshuu. So, as you can see on your screen right now, this is the translation to what is said in the Daizenshuu about Vegito, an individual formed through Vegeta and Goku merging together, obviously. But this history part's important because this is where Vegito first debuted. It happened in chapter 503 in the manga, and the manga is the main source material for Dragon Ball Z. Anyway, just a little bit on the history. In order to oppose Majin Buu, who is going to become very important in a moment, Buu had displayed overwhelming power by absorbing Gotenks, who was in Super Saiyan 3, and Piccolo. Goku tried to merge with Gohan, at that time Ultimate Gohan, using the Potara, but we know the history of that now, that failed, and ultimately Vegeta was brought back from the afterlife by Fortune Smeller Baba, and Goku basically fused with Vegeta, and as you can see there, it achieves a power so great that he can even make disparaging remarks about Majin Buu. At that time, Buuhan, the most powerful, bar none, version of Majin Buu we've ever seen. Unless Skinny Buu has got one of those ridiculous power hacks that Super loves to give out to characters nowadays. Regardless, Buuhan was the second most powerful character in Dragon Ball Z after Vegito. So now here's the bit where that 400 times generally comes from. If you look at the characteristics part, what it says is, being a combination of two Saiyans, his appearance hasn't changed all that much, and feels like a combination of Goku's face and Vegeta's hairstyle. He has both Vegeta's cool-headed battle strategies and Goku's pure fighting sense, and there can be no doubt that his strength measures even greater than that of a Super Saiyan 3. But as we know from the other Dragon Ball Z guidebook, the Super Exciting Guides, Super Saiyan 3 is a 400 times base multiplier. Now, at this time, there were only two Super Saiyan 3s. I guess you could say there's still only two Super Saiyan 3s in Dragon Ball Super as well, but that is Goku and Gotenks. And fortunately for us, Vegito consists of Goku, so we can use him quite easily here. So basically, base Vegito going off this is greater than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. I mean, the fact it uses the word greater should be proof enough, but anyway, we'll go further into it. So let's start with Super Saiyan 3 Goku. Obviously, Goku stated when fighting Kid Buu that he believed he could have beaten Fat Buu. Goku, however, wanted the current generation, Gohan, Goten and Trunks to save the world. So he basically didn't destroy Buu at that time and taught the fusion, Metamorise fusion, to Trunks and Goten. And basically they fused and turned Super Saiyan. This is what Goku would believe would beat Majin Buu. So that implies that Super Saiyan 1 Gotenks is around the power level of Super Saiyan 3 Goku. However, after a series of events, Gotenks has to fight Super Buu. Now, we know Super Buu is overwhelmingly a lot stronger than even Fat Buu, but Super Saiyan 1 Gotenks seems to be fighting on par with Super Buu, but in the Super Saiyan 1 state, he doesn't have enough power to finish Super Buu off. Anyway, after learning that he was trapped in the hyperbolic time chamber, Super Buu escapes. Gotenks tries the same thing, but fails, maybe implying that Super Buu might have been a little bit stronger. That's debatable, but Gotenks then turns into Super Saiyan 3, and what do we know about Super Saiyan 3? It's a 400 times base, and considering Super Saiyan 1 is 50 times base itself, that would make Super Saiyan 3 8 times that of Super Saiyan 1. So if Super Saiyan 1 Gotenks is level to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, therefore Gotenks is 8 times stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku. So if you were to measure base Vegito at the same level as Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks, that would make Vegito in base 3,200 times more powerful than base Goku. But it doesn't stop there. So at this time, Gotenks is going to finish off Super Buu, but he defuses. But during this time, Buu senses a being with an incredible power level extremely far away, and that is Ultimate Gohan. Ultimate Gohan finally arrives on Earth and literally thrashes Super Buu. This was more of a one-sided thrashing than even Jiren vs Goku in his Blue Kaioken times 20 state. And Goten even goes on to confirm that Ultimate Gohan is stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. How much stronger exactly, we never really find out. So let's just say, for lowballing's sake, he is at Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks level. Well, after realising he had no chance against Ultimate Gohan, Buu fulfills his plan that he devised earlier and absorbs Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks and Piccolo. Now, the main thing about Piccolo is he wanted Piccolo's brains. It wasn't particularly because of Piccolo's power, because at this point, Piccolo wasn't that relevant in terms of power levels in the Buu Saga. But, like I said, he's absorbed Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. Now, after this, he mollywops Ultimate Gohan. Some people are saying it's because he outsmarted Gohan, but Gohan doesn't land a hit. Basically, Gohan even got health restored by Dende and then got mollywopped again. So we don't ever get an actual multiplier for Buu's absorption technique. Okay, let's just go into this a little bit. Buu has always shown more power after absorbing somebody, apart from when he absorbed the Daikaishin, also known as the Grand Supreme Kai. What the Grand Supreme Kai did to that form of Buu at that time was basically make him nicer, nullifying a lot of his power, and we got, as a result, innocent Buu, and that is still Mr. Buu to this very day. The Daikaishin had been absorbed so long, he must have pretty much became a part of Buu, and basically became his own manifestation of Buu. But every other absorption results in a power-up, and it was no different here. Gotenks dominates Ultimate Gohan, but he defuses. At this point, Goku turns up with the Potara earrings because he knows Gohan's going to lose to Gotenks. But like I said, he defuses. They feel that they don't even have to fuse anymore because Buu's main power is that of Piccolo's, becoming what we now know as Buccolo. Buccolo then absorbs Ultimate Gohan. Now, Goku literally knows he has no chance, and he even considers merging with Hercule. He even acknowledges, despite Hercule's minuscule power level, that it will at least still give him a bit of an increase. Now, that's when Vegeta turns up, and he literally instant transmissions to Vegeta, and Vegeta does not want to fuse with Goku. But when Buuhan arrives, Vegeta just gives up hope and says, okay, let's fuse, because he feels how powerful Buuhan is. They become Vegito. Now, this is where there's a difference. In the manga, he becomes Super Vegito straight away. That is where Vegito just turns Super Saiyan, basically. But in the anime, we see a bit of a fight between base Vegito and Buuhan. Now, this is the important thing. Just before Goku left to go to Earth to fight Buu, the Elder Kai stated he doesn't think Goku would need to turn into a Super Saiyan as Vegito because the fusion itself should be enough. But he does anyway, and this is the reason he does it, because Buu has absorbed his family basically, and he needs to save him. By obliterating Buu, he kills his own family. So he devises a plan to be absorbed himself. Now, the reason he turned Super Saiyan was so that Buu realised he had no chance, and after a series of events, he finally falls for the trap and absorbs Vegito. But going on the fact that the Elder Kai stated Goku wouldn't need to turn Super Saiyan, and the fact that Super Vegito decimated Buuhan, he was actually toying with him, really gives you the impression that base Vegito was stronger than Buuhan. So if we go back to Ultimate Gohan, going by how dominant he was, would have been at least 2 times stronger than Gohan. Then Buuhan would have been 2 times stronger than Buu. Then we get Vegito in base, who would have been stronger than Buuhan. Now, I must say, guys, me using these 2 times multipliers are extreme lowballs. Those fights were so dominant that I honestly believe they were more, but for lowballing's sake, I will use 2 times because there aren't any official numbers. So then we get 6,400 times base Goku at Buu level. Then times that by 2 for Buuhan, that makes 12,800 times base Goku. We are already so far past that 400 times base, then we only get to Vegito himself in his base, who is stronger than Buuhan. 400 times is just ridiculous. All you have to do is do some critical thinking throughout the show. Now, I'm not saying the writers are using these exact calculations, but going off statements and feats within the show, it is obvious that it is not a 400 times multiplier. So that multiplication number I just gave you, take it with a pinch of salt. Don't take it too literally. It was just to give you an idea on how powerful Vegito was. There are no official numbers on Vegito. The Daizenshuu doesn't contradict it because it says it is greater than Super Saiyan 3. But the super exciting guides go further. On Potara, it states that it is closer to multiplication. Then on Vegito, it says it is equivalent to multiplication of 2 powers. That power being Goku and the other power being Vegeta. They multiply by each other. Now, we only know they have battle power. It's not anything else that's measurable by numbers, like height or width, because Vegito doesn't grow. Now, a lot of people like to disregard this because it's vague, but I think you just don't need to overthink it. It means exactly what it says. Even so, I can understand that the multiplier by Fusey A times Fusey B is absolutely overwhelming. So sometimes, even in the back of your head, even if you advocate this stuff, you're kind of like, is it really? But at the end of the day, Akira Toriyama is credited as being the author of the Super Exciting Guides. There has been an interview somewhere that claims that Akira Toriyama didn't have that much involvement, but at the end of the day, he is credited as the author. He had to give permission to be credited as the author. So until he himself debunks the Super Exciting Guides, then as far as I'm concerned, it stands. You are entitled to your own opinion on that, but either way, just going on simple power scaling from the Buu Saga, it is not a 400 times multiplier. I'm 90% sure that Potara is multiplication, especially in Vegito's case, because the Elder Kai in the Buu Saga did mention that because Goku and Vegeta are rivals, they've been given an extra boost, which is why it also says closer to multiplication for Potara, which may have been the case for somebody like Zamasu because they weren't rivals, they were actually the same person. But whether those two could beat Jiren and Ultra Instinct Goku, I'm on the fence because the Potara power seems incredibly overwhelming, and going on the very few episodes we've seen of Jiren and Ultra Instinct Goku, I've not seen anything that says they have that kind of increase in power. Don't get me wrong, they are incredibly strong, but that would imply that Jiren and Ultra Instinct Goku are equivalent to Goku Super Saiyan Blue Kaioken times 10,000 at a low ball. That might be the case. We've seen those kind of power hacks before, so maybe. Both of them even managed to shake a 5-dimensional construct, but who's to say that Vegito Blue and Zamasu couldn't do the same if they unleashed their power without consequences? I'm just being pragmatic, but then you could also consider things like Ultra Instinct and Transcending Time as equalizers to even a greater power. I think a statement from Goku or Vegeta, who faced Zamasu and were also Vegito Blue, about Jiren's power in that regard would definitely close the case. And to be honest, I'm actually sure Zamasu would lose, not necessarily down to his power level, but because he'd rather give you a monologue than actually fight you. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm just going to apologise because in a few of my videos I keep saying the word diverse when I actually mean digress. It is a bit stupid of me, but the reason it's probably happening is because I constantly say universe, multiverse, omniverse, megaverse, any kind of verse, quite a few times in my videos, and I'm probably just merging the two words together. I do know what digress means and I do know what diverse means. I apologise if me getting that one word wrong ruined your day. Anyway, I have a big video coming this Wednesday. It's going to be on the Dragon Ball Omniverse. It's going to be one of the best videos I've done, I promise you that. So if you are subscribed to me, make sure you stay tuned into my channel. If you're not subscribed to me, subscribe so when I release that video, you get that straight to your account as soon as it's released. If you like my videos, make sure you smash the like button with a big bang attack. And remember one very important final message. If you stay calm in any vexing situation, you will never, ever become a Super Saiyan. Make sure you click that subscribe button to make sure you get all my latest content straight to your account as soon as it's released. And here are some more videos from my library, which I'm sure you will all enjoy.